Some stories taste sweet at the beginning but turn bitter at the end. Some stories are like perfume, beautiful when you first smell them but choking if you stay too long. This is one of those stories. It is about beauty without work, love without effort, greed without kindness, and how choices can shape our lives forever. If you listen well, you will see yourself inside it, and you will learn why true blessings never come from laziness or selfishness. This is what all ladies should learn from. Once upon a time, in the busy and colorful village of Omugo, there lived a woman called Anka. Anka was very beautiful. Her skin glowed like polished bronze under the sun, her eyes were sharp and attractive, her lips always painted with the best colors she could find in the market. Whenever she stepped out, people turned to look at her. Tailors used her shape as inspiration for their mannequins, women whispered about her style, and men could not stop staring. She was the type of woman who could stop a moving car just by crossing the road. But inside her beauty was a problem, a very big one. Anka hated work. She did not like sweeping, she did not like cooking, she did not like washing. She refused to fetch water, she refused to farm, and she always said, "Work is for slaves, not for queens like me." Even when food was running out at home, Anka would lie down on her soft bed, painting her nails or checking herself in the mirror, while her husband struggled to provide. Her husband, Okoro, was a hard-working man. He was a trader in Omugo village, and every morning he woke up before sunrise, pushing his wheelbarrow to sell food items in the market. Came back home tired, sweating, and hungry. But instead of meeting food on the fire or clean clothes waiting for him, he met Anka lying down, yawning, and demanding money for new wigs or shoes. First, Okoro tried to manage. He told himself, "She is beautiful, maybe she will change with time." But the more he waited, the worse it became. Anka laughed at him whenever he asked her to work. "Do you want these soft hands to touch dirty water?" she would say. "Do you want these fine nails to break?" And with that, she would stretch herself and continue doing nothing. After years of carrying this burden alone, Okoro made a decision. He went to his family and announced, "I want to marry another wife. I need peace in my house. I need a woman who will help me, not a woman who only cares about her face in the mirror." The family agreed. They introduced him to a young woman named Amara. Amara was the opposite of Anka. She was not as flashy, but she was beautiful in her own quiet way. Her beauty was like a calm river, steady and refreshing. Her skin was smooth, her voice was gentle, and her manners were respectful. She cooked with joy, cleaned with love, and treated Okoro with respect. In just a few weeks, the house began to change. Okoro came home to warm meals, neat clothes, and a smiling wife who asked, "How was your day?" The house began to smell of fresh soups, clean floors, and peace. Neighbors noticed the difference, and they whispered, "This new wife has brought joy to Okoro's house." But not everyone was happy. Anka was burning inside. She watched as Amara cooked, cleaned, and even gained her husband's heart. She could not believe that a younger, simpler woman was now shining brighter than her. Instead of changing her ways, Anka became more stubborn. She refused to help with anything and even mocked Amara. One afternoon, while Amara was 6 months pregnant, Anka called her. "You, Amara, go and wash those clothes outside. My scarf is inside. Wash it well, don't spoil it. I want it clean and smelling fresh." Amara looked at the pile. Some of those clothes had been lying there for months, full of dust, sweat, and dirt. Her heart was heavy, but she carried the clothes to the stream. The Omugo village sun was hot that day. Amara bent down by the stream, beating the dirty clothes with a stick, rubbing them with soap, rinsing them carefully. Her back ached, her hands were tired, but she continued. She remembered her mother's words, "A woman's strength is shown in her patience." As she worked, an old woman appeared. She was bent, her hair gray, her eyes small but sharp. She watched Amara for a while, then walked closer. "My daughter," the old woman said softly, "you are pregnant, yet you are here washing heavy clothes. Why are you not resting?" Amara smiled weakly. "It is my duty. I cannot leave clothes dirty. Even if they are not mine, I must wash them. The old woman looked down and noticed Anka's scarf lying among the pile. She touched it gently and whispered something under her breath. Then she dipped her hand into her wrapper and pulled out a small pouch. "Take this, my daughter," she said. "Inside are diamonds. Keep them safe. It is a gift for your patience and your labor." Amara gasped. "Diamonds? For me?" The old woman nodded. "Yes, but remember this. Blessings follow those who work with love, not those who sit with pride." Before Amara could thank her, the old woman disappeared into the trees as if she was never there. When Amara reached home, she showed Okoro the pouch. His eyes almost fell out. Real diamonds. They could change their lives forever. He lifted Amara and spun her around. "You are truly a blessing to this house." But Anka was watching from the corner, her eyes wide with greed. "Where did you get that from?" she demanded. Amara explained what happened at the stream. She even mentioned the old woman and the scarf. At once, Anka jumped up. "Then the diamonds are mine. My scarf was there, and that old woman touched it. She must have given you my blessing. Return them now." Koro frowned. "Anka, how can you say that? Were you the one washing clothes at the stream? Were you the one sweating under the sun? Blessings come to the hands that labor, not the lips that complain." But Anka did not agree. She shouted, she argued, she even cried. Yet, the villagers who heard the story supported Amara. "The one who works is the one who deserves the reward," they said. Anka's heart grew darker. She could not sleep. She could not eat. She only thought of the diamonds. "If Amara can receive diamonds, then I too will receive mine," she told herself. "I am more beautiful, I am more deserving. Tomorrow I will go to the stream myself." And with that, she began to plan. The next morning, Anka tied her wrapper tightly around her waist. She picked up a large pile of clothes, some of them dirty for weeks. On top of the pile, she placed her favorite scarf, the same scarf the old woman had touched the day before. She looked at herself in the mirror and smiled. "Today is my day," she said aloud. "I will not suffer like Amara. I will not bend my back like a common servant. I will just carry my scarf, wait by the stream, and collect my own diamonds." She carried the clothes on her head and walked out. Neighbors who saw her were surprised. "Anka, you are going to the stream?" they asked. "Yes," she answered proudly. "Do not worry. You will hear the good news soon." On her way, Anka passed by a small hut near the roadside. A little girl was standing outside, crying. "Please, Auntie," the girl begged, "my father is very sick. Can you help me carry water for him? He cannot move, and I have been trying since morning." Anka hissed and looked away. "Do I look like your servant? I am going to collect diamonds, not to waste my time on poor people like you." The girl wiped her tears and whispered, "May God see your heart." But Anka did not care. She adjusted the clothes on her head and continued walking. For some minutes, she reached a small farm where an old woman was bending, pulling weeds from the ground. The woman looked tired, her back bent like a bow. She raised her head when she saw Anka. "My daughter, please," the old woman said softly. "Can you help me remove just a few weeds? My hands are weak and the sun is hot. With your strength, it will take you only a little time." Anka frowned. "Do I look like someone who came here for weeds? I am going to the stream to collect my blessing. Go and call your children to help you." The old woman looked at her sadly. Remember, kindness is the road to true blessing. But Anka ignored her and walked away quickly. Finally, Anka reached the stream. She put down the pile of clothes and spread them as if she was going to wash. But instead of touching the water, she sat on a stone, waiting and looking around. Her scarf was on top, bright and colorful. Hours passed. Anka was getting restless. Where is this old woman? Why is she delaying? Maybe she has forgotten. Then, just as the sun began to move low in the sky, she saw a familiar figure. The same old woman who had given Amara the diamonds appeared at the edge of the stream. She was holding a pouch in her hand. Enka's eyes widened. Ah, my blessing has come. But something unexpected happened. Instead of giving the pouch to her, the old woman bent down and dropped it slowly into the water. Enka gasped. What? She wants to throw away my diamonds? The old woman smiled faintly and turned to leave. In a flash, Enka jumped up. She ran to the water, grabbed the pouch, and clutched it tightly. Then she rushed after the old woman, shouting, "Are you mad? Why will you throw away my blessing? These diamonds are mine because of my scarf." The old woman looked at her with calm eyes. "Blessings are not stolen, my daughter. They are earned." But Enka was too blinded by greed. She pushed the old woman roughly to the ground and screamed, "You will not cheat me! These are mine." Then she ran as fast as her legs could carry her, clutching the pouch to her chest. When Enka returned home, she was laughing loudly. She called neighbors, she called children, she called even strangers. "Come and see," she shouted. "My diamonds have arrived. The old woman tried to cheat me, but I was too smart. I collected what belonged to me." Koro looked at her in shock. "What are you saying? You attacked that old woman?" Enka waved him off. "Forget that. What matters is that I now have diamonds, just like Amara. Maybe even more." Amara's face was full of sadness. "Enka, blessings that come by force are not true blessings. Be careful." But Enka laughed until tears rolled down her cheeks. She poured the diamonds on her mat and danced around them. "I am the queen of this house. Who is Amara compared to me?" That night, something strange began. Enka was sleeping when she felt her eyes burning. She woke up screaming. Koro rushed to her side, Amara too. "What is it?" Koro asked. Enka covered her face, crying in pain. My eyes are on fire." Before their eyes, shiny diamonds began to fall from her eyelids, one after another. But instead of joy, each diamond brought her terrible pain, like fire burning inside her head. She screamed and rolled on the ground. The villagers gathered, hearing her cries. "What is happening?" they asked. Enka shouted, "The diamonds are coming out of me. They are mine, mine, mine." But the more she shouted, the more the diamonds fell and vanished into the air. None of them stayed. Day after day, the punishment continued. Enka's beauty began to fade. Her face became swollen, her eyes red, her body weak. She could not eat, she could not sleep, she could not rest. Finally, in her pain, she confessed. She told the whole village how she had attacked the old woman and stolen the pouch. People were shocked and angry. The elders called a meeting. They sat under the big tree at the center of the village. Everyone gathered, waiting to hear the judgment. The oldest elder stood up and said, "Enka has brought shame to us all. She has shown greed, selfishness, and wickedness. She attacked a helper and stole what was not hers. For this, she must be punished." "What shall we do with her?" the villagers asked. The elder replied, "She will wash clothes for all the widows in this village. She will not rest until she learns that blessings follow labor, not pride. Only when the old woman forgives her will the punishment end." The villagers agreed. From that day, Enka's life changed. Instead of lying on her soft bed, she was forced to bend her back and wash heavy piles of clothes. Every morning, she dragged herself to the stream with baskets of clothes. Her hands cracked, her nails broke, her skin became rough. The diamonds continued to fall from her eyes painfully, disappearing into the air, leaving her weaker each day. Children who once admired her beauty now pointed and laughed. "Look at Enka the washerwoman," they shouted. Her pride melted into shame. She cried as she worked, but no one pitied her. Even Okoro did not defend her. "You brought this on yourself," he said sadly. Amara, with her gentle heart, sometimes tried to help, but Anka pushed her away in bitterness. "Leave me. Do not pretend to care." But deep down, the pain was slowly breaking her pride. And so the once beautiful Anka, who refused to touch dirty water, now washed clothes day and night. She had diamonds in her eyes, but they brought her no joy, only suffering. Sometimes suffering is the only teacher that stubborn hearts understand. Anka's beauty had brought her pride had brought her laziness, and her laziness had brought her downfall. But her suffering was about to open her eyes to something greater than diamonds. For weeks, Anka washed clothes for all the widows in the village. Heavy baskets of dirty wrappers and shirts were dumped in front of her house every morning. Her soft hands, once decorated with painted nails, were now full of cracks and wounds. Her back, once straight and proud, was bent with pain. Every night, the diamonds still poured painfully from her eyes, each one burning like fire before vanishing into the air. She cried and begged for it to stop, but it did not. The villagers looked at her with pity, but no one could help. Koro kept his distance, tired of her drama. Amara, though pregnant and later caring for her baby, sometimes offered to help wash a few clothes. But Anka always shouted, "Leave me alone!" The shame of being helped by the woman she once mocked was too much for her pride. But slowly, very slowly, her heart began to soften. One morning, as she struggled to rinse clothes in the stream, an old man walked by carrying firewood. He stumbled and the firewood fell to the ground. First, Anka wanted to turn away like before. But something inside her whispered, "Help him." She sighed, dropped the clothes, and helped him lift the heavy firewood back onto his shoulder. The old man smiled. "Thank you, my daughter. May kindness find you when you need it." Anka blinked, surprised at how light her heart felt after helping. Another day, a poor woman came to the stream with her baby tied to her back. The woman slipped, and her basket of cassava fell into the water. Without thinking, Anka rushed in, grabbed the cassava, and returned it. The woman burst into tears. "God bless you. I thought I had lost everything." For the first time, Anka felt something she had not felt in a long time: peace. What Anka did not know was that the old woman who had first given Amara the diamonds was watching all along. The old man with the firewood, the poor woman with the cassava, they were tests. And this time, Anka had passed. That night, something strange happened. As she lay down, waiting for the burning pain to begin, she realized her eyes were calm. No demons fell, no fear burned. For the first time in months, she slept in peace. The next morning, she woke up and checked again. Nothing. Punishment was gone. Anka dropped to her knees, tears of relief rolling down her cheeks. "Thank you, God. Thank you for giving me another chance." From that day, Anka was never the same. She cooked for Okoro, cleaned the house, and even helped Amara care for her newborn. When Amara was tired, Anka carried the baby on her back and sang sweet lullabies. Neighbors who once mocked her now said, "Anka has truly changed." Koro looked at her with new respect. "I never thought I would see this day," he said softly. Amara, with her gentle heart, forgave her completely. "We are sisters now," she told her. And indeed, they lived like sisters, sharing the work, sharing the joy, and raising the children together. Though the old woman never appeared again, Anka always believed she was watching from somewhere. And because of that, she never returned to her old ways. And so the story of Anka came to an end. She had learned the hard way that beauty without kindness is empty, and greed without work leads to shame. Blessings do not come from laziness, pride, or stealing. True blessings come from hard work, patience, and kindness. Diamonds in the hand are useless if your heart is dirty, but a pure heart will always shine brighter than any jewel. So always remember, do the right thing even when nobody is watching, because blessings hide inside small acts of kindness. If you have not subscribed to my channel, you might not hear my voice again, but if you are, then you are growing every day. Check my page for more interesting stories. Thanks for watching.